On April 12, 2022, Jupiter makes a conjunction with Neptune at 23 degrees of Pisces. This conjunction has begun to be felt since the beginning of March and will continue until the end of May. This transit will be back in November, when Jupiter retrograde re-enters Pisces, approaching Neptune once again. The last conjunction will take place on November 23rd, when Jupiter becomes stationary at 28 degrees of Pisces. The conjunction of Jupiter and Neptune is significant. Both planets rule Pisces. The last time we had this aspect was on March 17, 1856, which makes this conjunction extraordinary in our times. Neptunian energy is enhanced like never before. Here we see a strong dissolution of the limits of reality, a connection with the collective tide, great creativity, compassion, and even an intensification of psychic energies. Pisces, like all signs, can manifest at various levels of consciousness. The lowest is related to escapism, the desire not to see things as they are, illusions, deception, martyrdom, victimization, and the substances used to stop feeling reality. The highest octave of Pisces corresponds to mystics, unconditional love, divine inspiration, creativity, art, exquisite sensitivity, dreams. Every being vibrates, even stones vibrate. In that sense, we are all the same. There is no superior or inferior. The only thing that differs is the consciousness focus. Vibrating in a higher vibration doesn't mean being happy, happy, happy. Rather, it means go lighter. We human beings have some problems with going lighter. Generally, we need to do some sort of self-awareness work for it. However, during March, April, and part of May, the cosmic energies give us a beautiful healing experience through the passage of Jupiter through Pisces and its conjunction with Neptune, especially during the week of April 12. Jupiter, wherever it goes, expands. Neptune dissolves. As a mutable and water sign, when Jupiter is in Pisces, the image of a shoal that grows in size comes to mind. We do not know if the shoal grows because there are more and more fish coming in, or if it is simply an illusion created by the fish themselves, guided by an invisible force. Neptune entered Pisces in February 2011. We have been feeling its influence for 12 years. In a way, we no longer feel it. It has become a daily routine. What happened back then? In mid-2011, Canada launched its first LTE wireless network in Ottawa, Ontario. The capacity of mobile data downloads increased like never before. Spotify launched globally in July 2011. In 2012, the states of Colorado and Washington were the first to legalize cannabis through the vote of their citizens. Also in 2012, Instagram began to grow in popularity and it was bought by Facebook in 2013. In December 2013, the Ebola epidemic began. We have also seen the rise of veganism, animal sanctuaries, and animal rights organizations. Neptune dissolves the borders between individuals and groups, connecting our society. It is also related to all forms of escapism, creativity, music, cinema, and images, and especially filters, and yes, also pandemics. Compassion and care for the most vulnerable is also part of its realm. So, during the weeks leading up to the conjunction of April 12, Neptune's dissolving force will begin to expand in crescendo thanks to Jupiter. What can we expect? Several telecom companies are planning to massively launch 5G during the first quarter of 2022. Jupiter is related to inflation, and together with Neptune, it creates an inflationary process worldwide, although that is expected considering what has happened during 2020 and 2021. Let's see the possibilities. This is an opportunity that, of course, can go into the higher or lower octaves of Pisces. From the highest vibration, we find a portal to connection with love and inspiration. Neptune's energy can help us feel the union between everyone and everything. Our senses are capable of capturing the intangible. We are bathed in a wave of universal love, feeling one with the trees, with the other animals, and awakening a great compassion for everything that is discriminated against, devalued. We are able to see the sacred in all the work of the Creator. On the other hand, from the lowest vibrations, we find ourselves with a great desire to not see things as they are, to want to escape from reality, to feel better no matter what, or simply live in a state of confusion. Therefore, it is a good idea to stay centered, internalize this energy, and connect with the heart. The conjunction of Jupiter with Neptune can be translated as an energetic wave that dissolves the borders of the collective unconscious. Something like what we feel during a massive concert of our favorite musician. We all become part of the show and are carried by an invisible force. Suddenly, we are all on the same page, and this is what the expansion created by Jupiter-Neptune causes. With this in mind, choosing what to tune into becomes important. This planetary transit of Jupiter conjunct Neptune on April 12 forms a trine to the south node in Scorpio at 22 degrees. As a result, the door is opened to the dissolution of the interior compartments where we hide what we do not like to see about ourselves. Jupiter and Neptune bathe our wounds and shame, and thus help us open our hearts so that we let go of the pain of the past and go lighter. In turn, Jupiter-Neptune make a semi-sextile towards the Sun in Aries. The Aries impulsive energy will be strongly tempered by the Piscean influx, just as Mars in Aquarius makes an opposition to the Moon, which will be moving from Leo to Virgo. Jupiter-Neptune semi-sextile to the Sun in Aries influences Mars, the ruler of Aries. Although it is almost imperceptible, or perhaps not, It can prevent or at least placate the arousal of anger and the tendency to act without thinking or to create arguments or fights, typical of the Moon-Mars opposition. Tuesday, April 12, is a good day to turn off the TV and not let ourselves be influenced by the outside world. That day is perfect to quiet down so that we can listen to our heartbeat and allow the cosmic magic to do its work. Dancing, listening to music or the song of the birds, sitting under a tree, that kind of things can tune us into the higher vibration of Pisces. It is a day of connection and expansion. Everything we feel spreads through the ether. Let's give our best. Nothing will go to waste. When I looked up the meaning of this Sabian symbol described by Dan Rudyard, I realized that during the conjunction of Jupiter and Neptune, the need to center and stay with oneself is once again repeated. Rudyard speaks of the importance of the individuation in this symbol. Instead of becoming part of the soul that I spoke about before, it invites us to integrate our internal soul, that is, the parts of the self that need to harmonize with each other. When this harmonization occurs and we achieve inner unity at an energetic level, we separate from the crowd. This is how individuation occurs. In this way, in addition to awakening individual consciousness, we also avoid being influenced by external forces that can inadvertently modify our perception. The goal is not to let ourselves be carried away by the collective current, but to feel that each one, as an individual, can include the collective within her himself. As it is achieved, it is our very being that expands, and in each one of our actions we include the whole. This is the true way of the mystic.